Hello and welcome everyone, I'm Madals and today I have a best of one. It is a ladder game and it's between two Grandmaster level players. So let's go straight ahead, introduce these two. Spawning in the bottom left position we've got the red Terran player from Team Evil Geniuses, Demuslim. A British born fellow who's been adopted by the Americas. And his opponent down in the bottom right we have got the blue Zerg from Team Root, Fitzy. And I didn't pre-plan something witty to say about Fitzy, so sorry Fitzy. But yeah, TvZ, that's always exciting though, because TvZ has got awfully fun, especially on maps like Newkirk, where boost medevacs are awesome, and you can just be like boosting and dropping hellbats and mines and marines and marauders. What sort of strategy do I think Demuslim is going to go for? Will it be the typical, like, infantry biomine style, which is just like pew pew and you kill everything and all the Zerglings are dead? Will Fitzy go for Zergling, Baneling, Mutalisk? Will he go for some kind of cool roach timing push? I don't know. Will he get some Vipers out? I hope he gets some Vipers out because I like Vipers. Vipers are pretty swish. Like, every game should have Vipers, carriers and battle cruisers in them. Preferably all at the same time. If there was some kind of free-for-all mono-battle game where those were the only units allowed, that would be completely incredible. Like, I almost wanted to stop casting this now and go and just create a mono battle with those terms and then cast that, because I think that would just be sensational. That's actually quite a good idea. I should do something like that for my 1000th video. Which, honestly, give me suggestions in the comment section below. What do you think I should do for my 1000? Whoa. Okay, I was just watching this drone on, like, autopilot, because it's early game and, like, nothing ever happens. So I was just like, I'll watch the drone, I'll see what the drone's doing as it goes and scouts, so at least the camera's moving. But then it built a hatchery. What are you doing, Fitzy? The hatch. You kind of missed your natural a bit, Fitzy. Just a little way off. You're close. You're close to Demuslim's third, but your natural's okay. Anyway, so Fitzy's building a hatchery outside his opponent's base, and Demuslim is getting a Reaper, which is just going to go boing, boing, and then come over here, not scouting said hatchery. This is officially now funky builds, because this is something which is not too common to see, let's face it, and it's going to therefore be a pretty awesome game, and I'm so glad I'm casting this. Forget anything about the carrier mono battles and things like that. Hatchery, proxy hatchery openings can only lead to fun shenanigans. The gas is mining away quite happily. We've also got the spawning pool now completed. There is not enough gas though to start speed. A queen trying to come out, but there's a supply block. Luckily, the overlord just popped in time. There we go. The roach one also coming down. Meanwhile, Demuslim is just like, hey, I'm a Reaper, and it's like, hey, I'm just gonna build a command center. Demuslim is just having a normal 4-minute into the game kind of build. He's just like, okay, there's no hatchery there. Okay, spawning pool done. Okay, some aggression, a spawning pool, and an extractor. Okay, and a roach one. Okay, so he's going for a bit of a roach rush pressure. That's fine. I can deal with that. Nothing to worry about. Still, unbeknown to Demuslim is this. Look, this is what Demuslim sees. This is what we see. Can you see that little bit of difference there? This is all getting very exciting. The roaches are starting. They're gonna be there, and now these Reapers are coming and be like, hang on. You made a roach one, and you've got some eggs here, but they're just drones. What's going on here? Demuslim is a little bit confused, but that's fine. The queen is now stumbling forward, and then suddenly, this is going to be a beautiful moment, where suddenly Fitzy just sees a queen here. Like, you ready? Are you prepared? Okay, so the roach is going, and then queen? What's a queen doing here? And then this is where things get very, very fun. Creep sprit's going to start going. We can see the roaches just walking straight into Demuslim. You didn't put up that supply depot. Oh dear. Okay, so roaches are currently in the base. There is a widow mine on its way. The Reapers are just busy playing little fun games with the queens and stuff, but they're nearly dead. Meanwhile, we've got more roaches coming out. The supply depot is now dead. Okay, Demuslim, well done. You pulled SCVs. But I don't quite know how these SCVs are going to help you, especially until the Marines get out. Okay, so come on, you can do this. This is a brilliant build by Fitzy, by the way. This is incredible. But now we've got the Shroud. Okay, so SCVs, you're going to win this, SCVs. You can do this. You can do this. Let's watch this in all the glory, because we don't need to see things dying. No health bars. I need the queen gets stuck. Okay, the queen is just glitching like mad and getting stuck in there. But now the roaches still remain. The Widowmine gets a good shot off, but the damaged roach is so far back. The SCVs are trying to get into the fight. More Marines are coming out. Okay, the Reaper's doing a nice little dance here. They are doing their utmost, and I think, for the moment, Demuslim has managed to hold. There's more roaches on the way, though, so that could be a bit problematic, but 16 SCVs have been killed, 9 to 19. But Fitzy does not have a natural base, because his natural base is here, remember? That's how the roaches came in, so this is getting really, Really pretty cool. Demuslim is doing okay though. He's still in this game. The Widowmine count is now double what it was before. That is going to be exponentially more potent in order to deal with these roaches. Ooh, creep tumor spreading. Kill the creep tumor! Kill it! Good. Okay, good. No more creep tumor spreading. This is nothing but great news for the Terran player. Demuslim just like, well, if you've not got a natural, I guess I'll flame mine back up here, because I've got Widow Mines. Still getting more Widow Mines out one at a time. Can't afford to flip them over. The Reapers and the Marines starting to go forward. Another Queen's out though. Another creep tumor's coming out. The creep spread. Demuslim, there's only 3 roaches there. Just start edging forward more. You do not want that creep here, because that is when you'll have bad times. You'll have to spend a scan doing it. Orbital commands are starting to morph the Marines, desperately trying to engage these roaches, but 2 more on the way. And the Widowmine is going to get a nice little detonation off. That's good. 1 roach taken down. This is still looking very promising. Now 2 roaches have been taken down. Kite them back. Oh, Marines are dying. We don't want Marines dying. This is getting already tense. Behind this, Fitzy is halfway through building his natural at the 8-minute mark, because that's a normal time to get that if you've gone for a proxy hatchery. Meanwhile, the Widowmine's still here, stopping those reinforcements, sneaky sliding their way in. The creep spread is getting further forward, though. The creep tumor is going to finish. That means the scan will be needed. Oh, the mines detonate. Burrow's done, though. This is the sort of fun Burrow play we always want to see, and Burrow is going to be going mad. Okay, another Widowmine hit goes. More burrows. These roaches just slowly seeing the Demuslim just like, well, fine, I'm going to make a tank. We'll see how your roaches like a tank. And they won't like that. They'll die quite catastrophically. But the tank now sieged up. The bunker is here. No scan as of yet. The range of the tank can hit these 2 roaches, but not the other ones. This is all getting pretty bold. A Spore Crawler moving forward, ready to give vision of those Widowmines. But the Widowmines get some detonations. The tank is there. The shelling is starting to go down, but the Widowmines now have to move back because the Spore Crawler is there. The creep blocking Demuslim's natural. This game is so ridiculously crazy. What is going on? Seriously, if you're not enjoying this, I don't know what's wrong with you. This is spectacular. I love this. Anyway, so in come the Widowmines. The Widowmines starting to move forward a bit more. Spore Crawler is still threatening to detect them. The natural base is up. A lair is morphing. So actually the lair timing is not too weird for Fitzy, to be fair. Like, it's a bit late, but it's not like crazy. It's not too unusual, but the lair is definitely coming down. Meanwhile, we've got missile tides being placed around because the burrowed roaches are just being ridiculously annoying. We've got more tanks just edging their way forward more. The Spore Crawler pushed back. Demuslim desperate to retake his natural base. Still on one base. The Marine still poking, still prodding. The tank still shelling from afar. Meanwhile, Fitzy's just like, drones. Gonna make them because drones are good. And the missile turret is getting further forward because this creep tumor is stopping the natural being taken. But things not looking too bad at the moment, Demuslim. Okay, this is good. Demuslim, you're gonna get detection. Once you have the detection, you'll be a lot happier, I can assure you. Fitzy, his proxy hatchery is starting to look in a bit of trouble. In comes forward more. There is more Widow Mines. A Spine Crawler softly containing these poor units. A Spire now getting started behind this because Mutas has got to be the best follow-up to this ever. And oh, the Spore Crawler, the Spine taking some damage. It gets taken down. These tanks doing a nice job. Next, the Spore Crawler is going to die. The Marines starting to push forward. The Proxy Hatchery is looking to be in a little bit of trouble. But Demuslim needs to be careful. Engaging on creep is always dangerous. Even if that creep is outside your natural base. The tanks just leapfrogging their way forward. The creep tumor is getting taken out. Finally, that creep will start to recede. But it's like going to be 12 minutes plus before that orbital command can land. That is a big delay. Fitzy's had his natural up for quite a while. He's got a Spine Crawler coming down. His Proxy Hatchery, unfortunately, is about to fall. This was a hero of the game. This has made this game awesome, all on its lonesome. Admittedly with Fitzy's help, but without that hatchery, Fitzy couldn't have done any of the fun shenanigans that we so desperately wanted to see. The hatchery is now going to die. The tank sitting back. The Marines pull back to not take damage from the Broodlings. The Broodlings starting to move forward. They do get taken out before they do any damage. And now, oh, the infestation pit is coming down. Are we going to see any quick hive? Maybe we will. A scan goes off. Sees it. Sees the Spire. Sees the infestation. Sees the lair. Everything now spotted. Oh, Demuslim. That was a good little scout. More gas is getting taken. We've got the double infantry upgrades. No more missile turrets being made yet, though, because obviously the Spire was just finishing as the scan went down. We can see that also Spine Crawlers are getting placed. The drone getting ready to come and take third, because yeah, you need to get that third now. Demuslim has, or should, about to take his natural. There we go, landing at the SCV, getting in the way. That's always frustrating, but there we go. The land has gone down, so the natural base has been taken by Demuslim at 13 minutes 10 seconds. Anyone trying to copy this build order, you take good note of that, and I mean that 100% sarcastically. This is a funky game. If you ever get a repeat on this in the ladder, it will just be hilarious. Unless you're Fitzy, then it'll be quite easy to repeat this. Or even if you play Zerg, you could go for it. But in come the Mutalisk there. They're just coming straight forward. Unfortunately, missile turrets have now been placed, and there's not that many mutas, so they're probably not going to have too much fun. They're just kind of balling around in the middle, but they can find a nice little gap through between the missile turrets. The Reapers are there being like, oh, damn it, we can't shoot up. We see Stim is getting started near the 14-minute mark. A couple of SCVs getting picked up, and lots of missile turrets absolutely everywhere. The Hive is about a quarter done. We've got pathogen glands coming down as well, so we will be seeing some Infestor play. That's always good to note. Meanwhile, 1-1 upgrades are getting very, very close to finishing for Demuslim. Meanwhile, only +1 carapace done for the Zerg player. The Marines pushing back these Mutalisks. The third base is about a third done for the Zerg player. This game is just pretty crazy. We've got +1 finishing up. +2 will get started as soon as this armory is completed. The double engineering bay play, really good for Demuslim. Currently the worker count is 51 to 40, but there are mules for Demuslim. The incomes are relatively similar. We can see that also the missile tide forcing back some more of these Mutalisks. And well, this game, I just don't know how to call this anymore. Demuslim is actually now stabilized. He's completely fine. He's just happily mining from his natural, which isn't too mined out. His main is getting pretty low though, so that's due to the mules being called down there early on. The double mule, we've got the double barracks coming down as well, so this is just adding up into Demuslim's production. The creep spread is crazy. The entire map is covered in creep already, like everywhere. This is absolutely diabolical by, not diabolical, it's absolutely brilliant by Fitzy doing this. He's just spreading creep everywhere that Demuslim could possibly ever want to try and take a third. But Demuslim, he's going to go and clean that out. We can see that he does have his third orbital command built. It's just sitting here quite happily waiting. The third hatchery already up though for Fitzy, who could really do with getting a fourth relatively quickly. He's just too busy trying to harass around with these mutas. He's got the Ultralisk cabin coming down as well as +2 ground carapace, so his armor for those ultras will start getting higher, but they've got no attack upgrade, so they're not going to do that much damage. Meanwhile, the Mutalisk trying to engage these 3 lone marines. Nice little bits of micro going on. The APM of these two, both sitting around at like the 275 mark, so not ridiculously high, not low either, just pretty standard for Grandmaster players, nothing to be too shocked by. But of course there was a change to APM again, and I can't keep up with it. No one, let's just face it, we all look at the APM tab just to go like, wow, look at how quick they're playing, and then we forget any relevance, because of course the important thing is all of the little things that they do, and it all gets very, very exciting. So, Infestors are out. Ultras are on the way. Meanwhile, Demuslim happily mining off of 2 bases, but his main is getting very low on minerals. We can see that the 2-2 upgrades are getting researched for infantry. The third is starting to flow down. The Widow Mine placement coming really nice. That means that the Greater Spire and Ultras are going to have to do quite a lot. The Infestors need some good fungal growth. Fitzy's got to do something soon, or he's got to try and take this fourth. That would be really important for him. He may even try and take the top fourth, depending on how he wants to play, whether he wants to spread out. He does have mutas, so he doesn't have to worry too much about drops, because going drops and mutas on the field is a pretty risky move, because mutas counter drop play very effectively. Now, the Ultras are done. The Ultras are out on the field. Say hi, Ultras. Ultras are like, hi. They're not too friendly, but they like to hug people anyway. Corruptors, they're coming out. The Greater Spire is about 2/3 done. The Marine count only at 28, and there's no Viking. The first 2 medevacs have only just hit the field. That is insane that there's only 2 medevacs down at like the 18-minute mark. This game is so ridiculously brilliant. I genuinely hope that you are all enjoying this as much as I am, because this game is just so funky and cool. Now the rocks are getting taken out here by Demuslim, so he's going to take his 4th base relatively soon. We've got more tech labs being added on. He knows this. He sensed that these Ultras are here. Has he seen the Ultras? I'm not quite. No, he hasn't. He hasn't seen them yet, I don't think. I don't know where is the Ultralisk coming? Hang on, let's have a look. No, he hasn't seen that for sure. He knows the Spire's there, but doesn't know about the Greater Spire. He may have seen some of these Ultralisks moving across, but he hasn't ramped up his Marauder production yet. But he does have a lot of tech labs on here, so he may do in the very near future. We've got the 4th command center getting produced here, drilling claws coming down, as well as the 3-3 upgrades. That's compared to just 0-2 currently done here by Fitzy. The upgrade advantage for Demuslim is brilliant, but he doesn't have any Marauders to deal with the Ultralisks. There's so many queens here. There's also the Broodlords coming over. This is going to be so incredibly good for Fitzy, who's nearly maxed out. So many transfuses available there, and with only a handful of Marines, 45 Marines, and 12 Widow Mines. All Demuslim has got to defend this. I think Fitzy is going to be able to do this really well, because there just isn't enough to defend. There's Broodlords and Ultras and Queens and Transfuses up against Mines and Marines. The Marines are now suddenly realizing what's happening and are very unhappy about this. The Widow Mines are going to get negated in terms of how effective they are, because they're all going to trigger on these Broodlings, and the Broodlings start moving forward already. The tanks are up on the high ground. They are all about, but the Infestors are going to be ready to get some fungal growths off. Will this go into Muslim's favour? He's trying to run these Widow Mines forward, but a good little fungal growth goes down. Their Transfuses will be essential shortly. Now the Widow Mines starting to trigger more, moving forward even further. Of course, we do have the advanced drilling claws, allowing the burrow time to decrease by a lot, but so many Broodlords still alive. The Ultras still there. The Marauder count not too high. There's only 5 Marauders up against 4 Ultras, but the upgrades 2-2, 3-3 is about half done. Demuslim does definitely have the upgrade advantage, but this Broodlord position up above the high ground, oh so strong. There's no Vikings out. 2 more starports are desperately getting made, but here comes the mass Doom Drop. Where are you going, Doom Drop? Are you just going to go and base race, Fitzy? That wouldn't be a half bad decision. Are you going to come back and try and drop on the army? Maybe there's lots of Queens there. You need to be careful. He's trying to get around the back. There is a massive fungal growth on so many of those medevacs. So much of the infantry caught up there as well. The Broodlords just happily cutting back. The Transfuse micro is about to be absolutely insane. The Broodlords trying to get away with this. Fitzy is up to 180 supply, to just 130 now of Demuslim. We can see the infantry taking a lot of damage. Where is the energy on the Infestors? It is all gone. Meanwhile, the Ultras trying to push up one lone tank there, dealing some more damage. The Queens taking a lot of fire. The Marines trying to get underneath those Broodlords to deal with the damage. The medevacs are getting focused down by those Corruptors, but ever so slowly. The Queen's still doing more damage. More Transfuses desperately trying to get off, and the infantry is whittling away. Demuslim under 100 supply now. He's still got this one tank with 15 kills on it. That tank is such a hero right now. Having said that though, missile turrets everywhere, these mutas can't do very much. They're just on drop defense, but the Broodlord's starting to edge forward, and of course this means the tank will start shelling friendly units, which is never something that you want. The Muslim's third is all but gone. Meanwhile, Fitzy has his 4th up quite happily. The drone count sitting at 70 to 60 SCVs. Things are getting very crazy very quickly. Demuslim has a huge amount of gas, but hardly any minerals, because his main is mined out. Only mining off of this 3rd and natural, but that 3rd is still being besieged. The tanks are getting ever so close. The Marine count only at 6 up against 2 Broodlords, but there are quite a few Transfuses, or a couple of Transfuses at least remaining, and this is where things get very bonkers. 1 Broodlord remains. It's just happily sitting at the top. The Marine count though only at 11. The Muta's still in the middle of the map. Reinforcements are starting to come forward. More Queens are getting produced, but Demuslim is somehow still in this game. What is happening? I just don't know. The working count for Demuslim not too bad. He's now going for a mass mule cooldown at his 3rd. The 5th base getting taken here by the Zerg player. And the big thing for Demuslim is he does have 3-3 upgrades completed. Compare that to Fitzy, who's sitting at 1-2. A massive upgrade advantage for Terran. And of course 3-3 infantry, oh so strong. More Broodlords are morphing. More Corruptors are on their way out. Fitzy has a good amount of bank. He doesn't have that much gas though. That's what's stopping him just spamming Ultralisks or something like that. The Infestor count also only at 5, but a good number of fungal growth. They've got quite a lot of energy. In come the Ultras. If you manage to clamp down some of this infantry with good fungal growth, just like that, then the Ultras can get through it all so fast. The Speedlings coming and chasing down anything that tries to get away, and as we can see, Fitzy now nearly maxed out once more to Demuslim's 130 supply. Demuslim can't possibly hold this again, can he? This would be absolutely fantastic if he can hold it though, because this game is just incredible. This is one of my favourite casts I've done in ages, and it's not even over yet. Legitimately, this game is absolutely spectacular. I'm loving this. And as we can see, the Marines, they're just denying that creep spread. Of course, remember the creep spread from earlier on, from the proxy hatchery. That's how this all started. The Broodlings starting to chase down the Broodlords, slowly moving forward. The Queen count not quite as high. There are still 15 down, but I believe that is less than there were beforehand. The Queens are still on their way over. Viking count looking a little bit more healthy with 4 in production, but of course, there's a lot more Corruptors. The 3rd base is desperate to be repaired. The scan going off saying, okay, just how much stuff have you got there, Demuslim? Slowly creeping higher in the supply. The Widow Mines getting a little bit close, but they do get fungal growth and focus down. As we can see, the Infestors, how much energy are on these? Well, a couple more fungal growths. Oh, they're in a massive fungal growth going down. The Transfuses on the Ultralisk, absolutely fantastic. We can see that the infantry just melting before the might of the Zerg. The Queens just chipping away at everything. The tank is going to get taken down. Fitzy resupplying with more Infestors, more Corruptors, but he is still maxed out. He's at nearly double the supply of Demuslim, and that is a massive problem. Demuslim has also lost his 3rd base, which means he's only mining off of his naturally starved of resources, and this is probably going to be the final engagement. A couple of Infested Terrans getting thrown down to try and deal with the medevacs, who are boosting back One brave tank, now with 23 kills on it, is still holding the swarm at bay, but this is a losing battle. Demuslim down to only 85 supply. Fitzy, he is just pushing forward. He has got so many Broodlords, so many Corruptors, so many Queens. The Queens are just ridiculous in count. The Transfusers still going down. The Vikings getting focused by the Corruptors. The Medevacs getting focused. And there goes the GG. Fitzy starting the game with a proxy hatchery into this. Wow. This game was just amazing. I loved it. If you enjoyed it, make sure you like this video. Leave a comment. Out of 10, what would you give that game? I'm not talking for like skill level or anything like that, but just for a funky, fun bit of entertainment. Marks out of 10. I've got to give that like at least a 9. That was so thoroughly enjoyable. But thank you very much all for tuning in. Make sure that you subscribe, and I will catch you all tomorrow for yet another new cast, because they're out daily. I'm Madals, and bye for now.